Good afternoon. We're live. It is 1:08 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7:08 p.m. GMT in the UK. It's Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe coming to you live on Sunday, the 11th of December, 2022. How are you doing, Joe?
Yeah, good, man. I got my Deadpool Christmas jumper on today from Primani.
Jumper. I can't.
Jumper.
Again, like
I knew he was going to jump on that.
I know. I think that's why you said it. We had a discussion right before the show. It's like that's the one British term that I'm not getting down with. I'm willing to call it football. I'm willing to, other slang terms, jumper.
Because a jumper, that's someone who's going to jump off a bridge or something.
No, it's just I think of a when I think of a jumper, it's like a full suit, like a full thing, right? That's
okay, a jumper suit. Yeah,
a jumper suit. So,
yeah.
Good afternoon. Paul's in the chat. First one
Hello,
in.
Paul.
All right, good deal. So, so when you say jumper, I don't think of a sweater. It makes me think of like a full suit. That's all.
Full suit. Jumper suit.
Barry Johnson. I was in the chat. It was in GG's members only chat last night. Barry was, of course, always there, bringing the noise, bringing the funk, because he's awesome and dedicated. And we're just a bunch of hacks. Barry's the real deal. He's actually an engineer and puts out a lot of content. And he's intelligent.
Some real good content.
Right. Fantastic. So, if, obviously, whoever's watching the show will be sure subscribe to Barry's channel. If you're not, do yourself a favor. Follow his Twitter too. All that stuff. So, well, bad news. England lost. Big surprise there, right?
No.
You knew they weren't going to win the whole thing, right?
Yeah, of course, man.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
what was the last time? 1966?
Six. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, but we'll do well in the World Cup.
And I'll tell you this much: the guy that kicked the ball over the bar, we need some NFL field goal kickers. Give him a call.
You see that? I sent you a Insta reel.
Yeah, that reel. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, Johnny Wilkinson. It's his fault.
Yeah. That's what it is. So
Harry Kane, I don't really like him, but he's a very good player and he's very reliable on penalties normally. So for that to happen, the pressure must have just got to him. I don't know. Wasn't
there an Italian happen that in the World Cup a couple of cycles ago? Had his penalty kick or whatever, and he kicked it right over the just kicked it right over the bar. I was like, oh.
We've got a bit of history of penalties, England, as well. Yeah. So
yeah, absolutely. So
next subject.
Yeah.
Morocco though.
I thought, and I did text Matt about it too. I thought he would be a lot more upset about it. He was like, hey, they played pretty well. They just did what they need to do to win the game.
I mean, you can be proud when you go out and play well. When you play shit, that's when you're like, oh, man, that sucked. But if you go out playing well, that's all right.
And there was a little bit of, a non-call. So that led to a goal. So I guess that's going to be part of the thing. But here's the thing.
Yeah, you could always blame the ref as well, couldn't you? Yeah.
Well, you could have, but, they still had 90 minutes of play. That's why I was, in these, it happens in other teams too. Refs miss calls, umps miss calls.
Of course, yeah.
And you got to play through all that. It sucks. But I mean, to blame it all on the fact that the refs Brazilian and whatever.
As you know, I'm an Arsenal fan. And I follow Arseblog. Right, they're fantastic. They do a good podcast. And he put on that now everyone can see how Arsenal fans see every week. Saka gets fouled left, right, and centre. And it's very frustrating. But now England fans have seen it as well. It's happened in the World Cup. He just gets chopped down left, right, and centre. And the players get away with it. I don't know why.
Well,
he needs protecting really, but
right. And see, and in hockey, they used to have those kinds of players. So you had your star player, right? And then you'd have your enforcer. The guy just went around and basically just leveled people or got into fights or whatever.
The name says it all, doesn't it? Enforcer.
Well, that's what they were. I mean, you had guys like, and nobody here is a St. Louis Blues fan especially from the 90s or 2000s, but they used to have two players, Kelly Chase and Tony Twist. That was their two names. And these guys weren't extremely skilled. They weren't great players, but when you knew that if your star player is getting chipped at or slashed or run around, these guys would show up and basically just run a guy, and then you get into a fight, and that would be it. So you knew, hey, you keep chipping our dude, we're gonna send out our heavy hitter, and he's gonna get into you a little bit. He's gonna push you around. He's gonna get in your face. He's gonna knock you down, and that was kind of it. So, and then of course, then a fight would break out, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Uh-oh. What was that, Lauren?
Yeah.
That's
I
cool.
think Sasha's got her party shoes on.
DTNL, yes, we are hacks. He's definitely a
Yeah.
different tier. Yeah, there's us, every other tech creator, content, podcast people, and then Barry's in that upper strata. Right. We're low.
Down
It's
to
okay.
hacker.
Yeah, and that's okay. And Delevon's
Just going back to the World Cup. Hey, Delavan.
Welcome, sir.
Going back to the World Cup chat. Morocco, wow. Did not expect to see them go through.
Yeah, I don't really care. I really didn't care.
I love it.
Honestly,
I love the underdog though, you know.
yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, everybody wants to see. I mean, who wants to see the same, the same 5 or 10 teams? I mean, that's and I think that's endemic in any sport, right? Everybody gets tired of seeing the Yankees. Everybody gets tired of seeing Man United. Everybody gets tired of seeing the same 3 or 4 teams that are just perennially good every year. When you get a team that kind of catches fire and they're an underdog.
I know when Leicester won the Premiership, I'm sure for the mutual fan, they loved it.
Yeah. I am not a big shot in St. Louis. I live here. I don't think anybody knows. Other than the people who know I am, that's it. I'm not a big shot here. But I appreciate
what have you been up to this weekend? Anything exciting?
No, I just well, I will tell you, I stopped playing World of Warcraft for a long time just because I got bored with it. And my daughter Anakin has been playing. She plays all the time, which is funny because she isn't really a gamer, but that game she watched me play when she was a little girl, and she's been hooked on it ever since. Actually, for a while, she actually was. She's more into the social aspect of it, so she gets into groups and raids, and I don't really.
Yeah, the raids.
I'm not a raider, and I don't play a lot of end game content until the next expansion will come out. Then I would go back and when I can clearly just run it myself, and I'll just run it to see the story. But apparently, the new World of Warcraft Dragonflight came out. It's pretty good. Like I've been playing it pretty much all weekend. Just to kind of check it out.
I've never given it a go.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. So
never tried.
Yeah, that's what I did pretty much yesterday. I went camping. Obviously that went well.
Cold?
Not really. Not like other years. I mean, it was like during the day it was like mid 40s Fahrenheit, and then so it's not cold.
It's very cold here.
50s. Like one day it was like 50. On Wednesday it was like 54. I mean, it was, and we went golf. We would play golf that day because it was just such a nice day. It was almost didn't have to wear like a long sleeve T-shirt. It was actually pretty nice out. So we've had pretty good weather. Rained a little bit on Tuesday, but that was it. So
it's freezing here. I went out last night, right? So I met my old team for a Christmas meal, and I went to get a bus, and it said, 27 past. Great. Didn't turn up, and then the board changed another 20 minutes, so I had to get an Uber. Thank God we have apps like Uber that we can just quickly get a cab. Right. Otherwise, I'd have been walking.
What, like 4 miles?
Yeah. Forget that.
Right.
But yeah, it's very cold now. Very, very cold. Like,
yeah. Well,
smuggling peanuts.
It's an island. It's pretty north, and
yeah, true.
Yeah.
Well, actually, my mum's got snow today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in Crawley.
Cool. I don't know where that is.
Yeah, it's in England.
Clearly, but is it north of you? Is it
no, south, sort of Gatwick way.
Okay.
You know Gatwick, right?
Sure, of course.
Name an airport. That's always like.
The only airport I know is the one in London.
Heathrow.
Heathrow. That's the only one I know. I know there's Gatwick. I've heard of it, but
You've heard of it.
I don't know if anybody ever flies there internationally. I think they always fly to Heathrow and then maybe take a smaller. I don't think Gatwick takes international flights like from around the world.
Is it not?
I don't know. I mean, I
thought it did. I don't know.
Maybe they do. I just never heard anybody flying into it, but maybe other people fly into it. I don't know. I mean, I don't care where we fly into as long as we land safely. I don't really care.
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
Right. And yeah, Anakin. Oh, really? Oh yeah, Anakin. Oh, okay. Well, I guess. Yeah, I know it's Anna. He thought I said Anakin. That's fine. That's close enough. But anyway, she's a little Padawan, so she's playing. So it's all good. That's all I've been doing really, and then just kind of getting ready for the holidays. So so everybody knows we have a guest lined up for Saturday, the 17th.
Saturday the 17th.
So I'm not going to tell anybody the guest. I'm not going to tell you because it'll be a good person. I promise. If you have time in your day, I know Saturdays are busy, weekends are busy with folks in the stream, but so it'll be Saturday at 3 p.m. Not Sunday.
We'll confirm it Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll confirm it Wednesday for sure. But if everything's a go, the show would be on the 17th, which is Saturday.
It's going to be big.
And then the 18th, we will not have a show because Joe has a family commitment.
Yep.
And then the other show, which would be Sunday, would be Christmas Day. We are not going to do a show Christmas Day.
No. We're dedicated, but we do also have families.
And also everybody else has got a family. You're not going to sit there.
No one's going to listen to us.
Besides, in the morning you probably had gifts and family time, and then at 3 p.m. usually, I don't know about you, but it seems like families when they have the holidays they eat a little earlier than normal.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's gonna be right around where dinner time would be for some folks, especially.
And then once you start eating, you don't stop.
And also, it's a holiday; it's a Sunday, so a lot of people have the Monday off. And then so there'll probably be a couple of pints in. So and Barry is very disappointed in no Christmas show. I know. Again, this is why we're not we suck. Remember, dedicated people
Joe,
will be here on a Saturday.
Remember, I mentioned I'll try and do a best bits video. I might try and pull that together for Christmas Day.
Right.
That'd be my gift to Barry.
Yeah, what we might try to do is maybe record like a little 10-minute little Christmas Day thing, and I'll just upload it on Christmas Day. So
yeah, that'd be cool as well. We'll have some Christmas crackers.
Hits because we don't have any hits to have best of.
Yes, we have. We've had some awesome guests, and there's been some funny stuff.
I'm sorry about our funny stuff. So we don't have. You being drunk was good. Me being drunk on the Matt podcast would have been pretty good. There's a couple of two. That's funny. The two best.
If we look back, Sam, there'll be some awesome moments, definitely.
Oh, I'm sure. Especially with the guests we had, because we had.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So, but yeah, and it's funny. The two things I would say that the best for us would have both involved us being intoxicated. So there's that.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So that.
So what's your plans Christmas?
Just go to my in-laws. That's all we're gonna do. My father-in-law is having hip surgery on next Friday, so Becky's gonna be up there with him, kind of making sure everything's okay. And then so they're not, and they're getting older. It makes no sense to have them drive all the way out to our house. It's just why not? I mean, that's I think probably for the foreseeable future it'll probably be us visiting them on the holiday, which is fine. I don't mind doing that. I just don't like when Anna was little and we had two families, right? And then we had a divorce. You go to like 3 or 4. Christmas Eve, you go to one place, and then Christmas Eve night, you do one.
Yeah,
morning.
that sucks moving too much.
Oh, that sucks. I'm glad that we don't have to do that anymore. We just go to one place
and chill.
And chill. Eat. Yeah. And just, watch football and American football, not any other kind of crap. Not the real football. Yeah. That's right. Pub Joe was a great guest, and then that's it, and then that'll be the end of the season. So what'll happen is that'll be it. The guest on the 17th will be the last actual live stream for the year. Take a little holiday break, and then we will. And then the funny thing is, the first Sunday in 2023 is New Year's Day, so that's not a real holiday as far as like.
Nope.
So we will start season 2 of the Nomad Tech Project on January 1st. Have a new logo. We'll have another set of guests. We'll bring some old guests back. All that kind of stuff. I have a couple of people I'm talking to, trying to reach out to have them on the show. So we're doing it.
So we'll fool you with a new logo, but with the same 2 twats.
Right.
on the microphones.
You just have to listen to us for the last 3 shows. Actually, this has been an interesting little stretch. I think we've had 3 shows in a row where it's just me and you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe, I've enjoyed it though. It's not a bad way to close the season out.
No, not at all. I mean, that's at the end of the day, we can't just rely totally on guests. We have to have some kind of actual content to bring. So that's what it is.
Yeah. We was going to talk about you a bit more, weren't we? At one point.
Sure.
I think we didn't plan it. We could go into a bit of it today.
Sure. And then of course, DJ. Yeah, I mean, it's not draining. It's just that. Not for me, at least not anymore. It used to be, but what it is it's just, there's a lot of family commitments, and I know a lot of times. I mean, I know TK has a Saturday show, and I'm always doing something Saturday afternoon. I'm running errands or doing stuff around the house, and I feel like I can't get to listen to his stream live. And then, of course, Juan does his Monday the Monday Morning Tech Chat. At 11, it's always right in the middle. I have meetings that day, and I've just been busy this last couple of months at work, so I can't participate or even listen. So that's the problem. It's just I want to make sure that we're not encroaching on people's time. And there's so many things you can be doing. Other tech podcasts, watching sport, spending time with your family. Well, the good thing is at least the podcast, people seem to actually download it and listen to it afterwards. Seems like it. So
perhaps that's by accident.
Yeah. And then let's see. Question. Yes. Well, it's not easy being the oldest living thing on Earth. I don't know about all the knowledge. I probably live a couple of decades more than normal humans, and I probably still won't figure it all out. But no, this has been a good year. Honestly, professionally, it's been a good year. Everything else, we started.
Has been a good year, yeah.
Good year. I mean, we've I've had some pretty good.
It's been a good year for phones, especially.
Well, I think every year is going to be a good year for phones now.
It just gets better and better, I think.
Especially when you're having a good year, when you're just going to have to talk about it, endlessly fight about whose phone's better, your phone's better, mine phone's better. Don't get that phone, it sucks. We had a lot of good. We had the Pixel, the Pixel 7 Pro. I guess somebody decided it was the phone of the year.
Which I'm on right now. Awesome.
Right.
Love it.
I don't have. I still have, the 6 and Flippy Dippy, and that's what I got. And I bought a Lumia 950, and I can't use it because when I put my SIM in, which is an
you still got that same issue?
Yeah, I put it in, and it reads it as a T-Mobile SIM. I don't know how, and it doesn't give me a chance to switch the mobile operator. It just says.
Can you do a SIM swap with your carrier and see if that's all solves it?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, even though this is technically on AT&T's whitelist still, I think it's something that's weird with it. So I don't know. Worst case scenario, it's actually gotten pretty bad. Windows Phone, and the only thing that really works pretty good is Twitter because it's a PWA. Everything else, I mean, Netflix doesn't work anymore. Audible doesn't work anymore.
So it's literally your Twitter phone.
It's just literally something to have fun with and kind of mess around with. It's really nothing else that I was hoping to actually use it as a phone and actually talk about, hey, I'm going to use this phone for a week. Could I survive in 2023 using a Windows phone? But yeah, I mean, you have no Facebook, no Spotify, no way to play music. I mean, I've got OneDrive. I mean, it's pretty limited. There's no streaming services for that. It's pretty rough. And then also
it sounds it.
Yeah.
Sounds it.
Yeah. It's pretty rough now. I mean, and also you could get away with the browser to do stuff, but the problem is now the browser is so old because it's running the old Microsoft Edge, which is the HTML5 Edge.
Oh, yeah.
So since it's not been updated, some sites don't render, they're broken. I can't even get to Instagram. You can go on the website, the mobile site, and it would say, hey, this browser's not supported, and it would just, you can kind of get through it. Now it doesn't.
No major loss there, is there, Instagram?
Right. I'm just saying, but for social media,
Yeah.
But the funny thing is Telegram works perfectly. Telegram works
that's
perfectly.
interesting.
I mean, you can still use it as a basic communication.
That's my chat of choice, my messenger of choice, Telegram. I do like it. It's my favorite.
Yeah, so that still works. And I think WhatsApp probably still works. I mean, there's still some stuff there. I mean, again, email, phone call, text message still has the best keyboard of any mobile phone. I don't care what anybody says. You can fight me if you want, but I think Windows Mobile and Windows Phone to me had the best noise, little wood knocking, and the best keyboard layout. I never had problems using the Windows Phone keyboard. I really liked it. So
I've never had the pleasure. Sam, I'm thinking of switching up, my Sony reluctantly, because obviously it's costing me a bit more extra money. But then I was going to go for a cheaper device, but then I've got this itch to get the Find X5 Pro. Do you think I should do it?
I mean, if you have the capability, yeah.
I mean, it would be cheaper than what I'm currently paying for the Sony.
Oh, yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of. I mean, it's kind of disappointing that we don't have that option here in the States.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I would like to try like the Realme and the Oppo.
I wouldn't be surprised if Oppo does hit the States soon. I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know.
Unless BBK are just going with OnePlus in the States.
Right. Well, again, it's going to be all about carriers. That's and that's the major impediment to these companies is they've got to not only be able to have a foothold, but they've got to negotiate with American carriers.
Oppo is very much their flagship brand now, though. So I wouldn't be surprised if you do start seeing them.
Harry says it'll be nice. DT says go for it. I'd like to try it out. I mean, of anything, I'd actually like to give it a go. So
I've loved the Sony though. I whacked it on today. Again, it's just the speakers and screen on it is just so nice for content consumption. Sony Xperia 1 Mark IV is so good, so good. Love it.
But then, what's the reason why you don't use it?
Because I've got a Pixel, and my everyday phone is the Pixel. Because it's the whole package. It's the whole package, and like the Sony's fun to use, like for photography. But if you haven't got much time, which I tend to not have much time, the old point and shoot on the Pixel is better for me. But if I've got time, I want to go out and take photos. The Sony's so fun to play with.
Yeah, well, it definitely gives you a lot more options and capability.
Yeah, and I can actually improve my skills as a photographer rather than pointing and shooting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always wanted to try an Oppo since the Find X2, so I think I should do it.
Especially if you can save yourself some quid on doing it. Yeah.
It's a bit about about £6-7 a month cheaper.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. And I can claim a tablet, an Oppo tablet, free from it.
There you go.
So
then you can use that for this if you wanted to.
I don't know if it'll be good enough, but that's another draw though. I might do it for the tablet as well.
Yeah. No, I mean if they offer, like I said, that's another thing too. Is it's right now I'm kind of in a holding pattern. I'm kind of waiting to see what the Pixel Fold looks like. I'm excited, but I'm also cautious because it is new. It's like buying the first car of a model refresh, right? A new version of a car. You never want to buy the first one just because there's always going to be some engineering and some failure. And then
what's going to be important, Sam, is the price.
I guess not.
I think
really,
so
because I think Pixel is going to do what they've done with like Samsung, right? I mean, they're going to have so many trade-in deals, so many stupid offers. They're going to have to try to make it palatable. And when you're offering those kind of deals, like Samsung was offering all these trade-in deals and all that kind of stuff, and free.
See, we don't get them in the UK. Not as good, half as good as you get them.
Yeah, I know, but you get more selection of devices. I mean, you could get you could get a Find N and use it, no problem.
Possibly, yeah. I'd probably have to. I'll probably still import it though.
Right, but you could throw a SIM in it and you're done. In the United States, you can't. And even if you do, you run into all sorts of issues. Like at AT&T, you can't. Even on T-Mobile, then you got to fight all the notification issues and everything else. I mean, it's a lot of it's a different situation. But yeah, I'm not sure. I think Google seems to have a good idea on how pricing their phones out. With that 6A and the 6 being pretty competitively priced as far as what they're offering. I would see it at $14.99. That's where I would see it land at. Maybe $13.99. And you figure if you can trade in another Pixel, right? If you can trade like the Pixel 6 and get like $600 off, trade a Pixel 6. Now you're at a foldable. If you're at a $14.99, say it's $1,500 MSRP, less 6. Now you're at 9. Now you're basically where the Pixel 7 Pro's at, and you get a foldable. I mean,
wonder what the cameras will be like on it. I think they'll go with like the 6A style camera.
I would think so, but it's funny on the foldables, they never go with the top tier cameras for their flagship.
You say that the Fold 4 cameras are pretty good,
Yeah, that's what I've heard, but they're not as good as the S22.
I don't know.
No,
I think in real world use, they're not actually that bad. They're actually pretty close.
Not bad, but pretty close is not the same. So
have you seen Gavin Fabiani? Do you know him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in our MeWe group, isn't he? He's taken some fabulous photos on the Fold 4. But do you know what?
I think it's a great camera. I mean, I think it's a lot. It's on a foldable. It's probably one of the best cameras on a foldable.
Do you know what says a lot though? He's gone back to Apple, right? But he's kept the 7 Pro for photography. That says a lot, doesn't it?
Jermaine's
hey, Jermaine.
Welcome.
I was rooting for the Netherlands against Argentina. I was gutted.
Yeah.
I know Jermaine don't care, but
right. But
I was rooting for him.
It was pretty
Yeah.
good. So,
It was an awesome game, honestly. There's 2-0 down, Sam.
oh yeah.
Yeah, and they brought on the big guy, Weghorst, I think his name is. And they managed to pull 2 back and then lost on penalties, sadly. But yeah, it was an awesome game.
Yeah.
If anyone's going to watch a game from this World Cup, watch that one.
Yeah. So, haven't been able to. I actually haven't had a chance to really. I'm sure they've been on television. I mean, they were televised, I'm sure, but I just
all on telly. Yeah,
I don't watch a lot of soccer generally. But yeah, he didn't. A lot of Messi touching the ball and all good and kicking that ball. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. I would still say the French are probably the odds-on favorite.
Yeah, got to be now, especially with Brazil going out.
Yeah, I mean, and they won the last one, right? They're defending champs. So
I
would say the French are probably the odds-on favorite. But I'd like to see a team like Morocco at least get to the final. That'd be kind of fun.
It would be awesome, yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I mean, it's we're getting close though, so but it's been good.
It's coming around quick. Sam, what are you hoping for this Christmas? What one gift?
Oh, well, actually, and the funny thing is, we don't buy gifts for each other.
Yeah, my wife said we can only if it fits in the stocking, then it's fine.
Yeah, we have one of those little trinket gifts, whatever. To me, it was the car. I mean, that pretty much was. I mean, I really should have waited until May when I paid off the other vehicle. That way, I would,
life's too short, Sam.
I know. Well, you say that until you have to pay the bills on it, and then it's a little.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
No, I think, but I got it earlier, and that's kind of like if you're asking me like what was my Christmas gift, I would say it's taking my glasses off. That reflection drives me crazy. I would say the car. That was probably my gift, and then my daughter brought me it's a little ornament for the tree. It's a Nintendo NES controller.
Oh, cool.
That's pretty cool. But I hate when people buy you ornaments because you only see them like three weeks out of a year, right? You don't.
Yeah,
I've got. That's like
I've got a little gingerbread man on my tree. Like when I used to work for Monsoon, I got it from there. It's quality.
So that's it. I mean, honestly, to me, Christmas, as far as the gift giving component of Christmas, I don't really care about that too much. I don't like giving gifts. I don't like getting. It's just not my thing. The holiday part is great. Family is great, and food, and trying to be a decent human being, which you should do all the year, not just Christmas. But honestly, the gift component of it, it just doesn't move the needle for me. It never did. And I guess that's because when I grew up, my mom didn't buy me a lot of stuff when I was a kid. I mean, she just wasn't a big gift buying person for me. She would give me a couple little things. Every once in a while, I'd have a really nice gift. But, I've seen friends of mine that have the whole tree underneath it. I mean, it was just covered. I'm just like, you play with it for like a week, maybe 2 or 3, and then you don't touch. A lot of these people don't touch that anymore unless you buy like a console or something like that.
It's like I see like friends like with their little ones, and it's presents just for the little one, like stacked up, and it's mad.
Like, again, I don't care what you spend your money on, and I mean, I'm not. That's not I'm not trying to be nasty about like, oh, you should buy your kids stuff. I'm just to me that doesn't indicate Christmas to me. That's never even when I was a kid that really meant. It was hang out with your friends, being off of school, eggnog. I know a lot of people don't like it, but Christmas cookies, stuff like that, things that you didn't do throughout there. That's why I like Thanksgiving is the food. Yeah. I mean, that's the one time you really eat like a turkey. It kind of sucks, but I
like it. It's an excuse to get together. So like I said, last night I went out with my old team. We used that Christmas as an excuse.
Right.
It was nice. And I had my mum around today, which was nice.
Yeah. So
that was to exchange gifts.
Right.
Ready.
And so again, that's just my approach to Christmas. It is not about humbug. I think Christmas is fine. But honestly, if it were up to me, I lived alone, I would even put up a tree. But I'm not here to piss on anybody's parade. Like if they want, I know a lot of my friend I went camping with. He and his wife are totally opposite. They've got a house. They put up like 4 or 5 Christmas trees. They decorate the whole house. I mean, they've got crushes and mantles full of stuff. It's insane. Right? They spent like a whole weekend just decorating their house. It looks like a Macy's. It's crazy, right? But they get into that shit. That's their jam. They love the whole Christmas thing.
That's what gives them joy.
Right. It makes them happy. And they've been doing it since I've known it. Now obviously they have a bigger house now, so they can do that. That's just not my thing. So, well, and let's see, Aditya, Chi-Fi. Oh yeah, Chi-Fi. Yeah, he is. He's far away from his family. I know that sucks. Well, hopefully, Aditya, you're not stuck at this medical school for the rest of your life. It seemed like you've been in medical school for 30 years, but I know it's not. It's just
Aditya's in his 40s.
Right, he's like 46. He's as old
Yeah.
as I am. But it's just the fact that he's in a foreign country. A lot of his family's not around. Here's another Christmas where he's in school. He's plowing through trying to get that done. But yeah. So
actually, I stand corrected about Instagram because Aditya sends me reels on Instagram every day, and I love him. He's better than Lad Bible for me. Yeah. The stuff he sends me is awesome.
Yeah, I like the reels component of. I mean, they're pretty good. I mean, basically, it's a TikTok ripoff,
yeah, definitely
appropriation of TikTok for there. I mean, it's fine. But yeah, it's just so not a whole lot. Again, Christmas doesn't. Not the gift part.
Do you like Christmas jumpers?
I like jumpers. I actually wanted to get. We have our holiday party at work on Tuesday, and I wanted to get one of those ugly sweaters from Microsoft. I can't ever get one. They sell it within like seconds, man. It's nuts. Like they had like the clippy one, and they have all these other kind of weird. Every year they come out with these really wild jumpers, essentially Christmas ugly sweaters, and I would have rocked the shit out of it. And I can never. This year I tried to actually get on there, and I was like, they were sold out within a minute. It was crazy. So at least I couldn't get one. So hopefully, if anybody's listening at Microsoft and wants to give me the hookup, I'll even overpay to get one. Just
sort Mustang Sammy out.
Yeah, help me out. I have a buddy actually. I have two friends who work at Microsoft, but more of like a retail level.
Yeah.
And now they're not. They don't have retail stores in the United States anymore, but they have. They do enterprise software.
Yeah.
Stuff. They talk to companies and sell shit. I don't know. So he can help me get the Xbox Series, the X. So I got that from him because he got a hookup. But yeah, give a brother a sweater. Just want to know.
Yeah, sort him out.
Just one.
To sort him out. So I was talking about Christmas gifts. Do you know what is a really good Christmas gift? Our sponsor, Extreme Skins.
Yeah. Buy you some, buy somebody else some. Go to their website, extremeskins.co.uk. Go check them out. Got tons of stuff, different colors, right?
Yeah. Textures. I actually gave my sister's partner some today for his Pixel 5.
There you go. And I still needed to get one for
Flippy Dippy one.
Yeah. Well, they sent me a fold panel on accident. And it was just one. So it was like the front panel of a Fold 4.
Was it an accident? I reckon they're pissing about with you, mate. They sent it on purpose.
Yeah, I'm just going to go and buy it then.
They wanted to see you try and install it.
Yeah, and I would just wrap it around. They still give me shit about my Pixel. And the funny thing is, because part of the reason why, and I noticed it now, is it's bubbling on the edge because the case. I have a Ghost Tech case on it, and it's kind of peeling right at the top. See, it's kind of, I think it's grabbing right there where the case is grabbing it. So
yeah, that's one thing with skins. If you
but
go on and off with cases, they do come off.
But it hasn't ripped. I mean, it's still. So
you apply some heat and it'll go back on.
Yeah, well, it's not a big deal. And a lot of times I don't rock this without it. But yeah, if you're looking to get yourself a case, get a case too. But get the skin. Just make sure you have a skin that's clear enough where you can can't see. It's a little dark frost kind of thing. So get yourself a case that's clear, and then that way you can show off your awesome color. I know MKBHD put one on his. It was like some trippy digital cannibal one. It gave me a headache looking at it.
Oh, I've seen that one.
Oh God, I was like, no, that's ridiculous. I don't like that at all. But yeah, get some extremeskins.co.uk. Tell them we sent you.
Yep.
So they can laugh at you and make fun of you, and then send you the right skin. And then you can upload a picture of you trying to install it and screw it up, and they'll make fun of you. Done it every time because I keep messing it up. That apparently is what it is. And so, good group of folks over there. Tell them we sent you. I mean, there are other choices, but they're not the best choices. StreamSkims.co.uk. Go check them out. Also, where's this show hosted? It's on the Purposely Pixel YouTube channel. Check it out.
Absolutely.
Lenny and the crew over there are doing a great job. Doing God's work over there with the Pixel.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, Lenny's been really big about Pixels, but man, he is enjoying the shit out of the 7 Pro.
Yeah,
he's posted a lot, but he's I mean, it's constant. I mean, he's constantly raving, taking pictures and uploading them and talking about it. I mean, he's
he loves it.
very active, and he got that real cool gear, like that old retro basketball jersey. And
Yeah.
that shit was cool. Like I was like, man, that's the one.
Lenny was rocking that.
Yeah, I'd love to rock that kind of stuff. That would be great. I'm not a pixel in the fan thing or whatever. We're definitely not pixel people, but I like the gifts they give. Those are pretty slick. I have to admit that they do a good job with the giveaways and stuff.
The thing about Lenny, right, is he's a top guy as well. So if you want to chat to him on Twitter, he'll have a bit of banter with you. He'll discuss the Pixel 7 Pro, other devices with you. He's a top guy. So it's not just the channel; it's the guy behind the channel as well.
And Neil and everybody over there that works over there. They do a great job. Not as for some reason I don't understand how their subscriber count's so low. It doesn't make any sense to me. But they're good folks. Lenny's a good dude. They're a lot of fun. And Leonard got to go and he's gone to some of these events and stuff. And he actually meet some of these other creators and stuff like that. And and it's pretty cool. So we really appreciate it. That's one thing too, is what I'm thankful for. I guess it's really not Thanksgiving. It's more of it's not a Christmas thing. It's a Thanksgiving thing. Is I am very appreciative of the fact that Lenny and then let us host the show on their YouTube channel. I think it's fantastic. Anything I can do to promote their channel and promote them, not just because it's self-serving, because the more views they get, the more views we get, but also because he's a really top tier guy and he does a lot of great work. And I think his content is really good.
He's got a full-time job as a letter carrier. So he does that and then he does his videos as well.
Hey, look at that.
Hey, Jimmy, you legend.
5 pounds. And actually, I don't know if I've been paying attention. I don't think I have. I think the US dollar and the pound is almost equal trading now.
Pretty much, I think, yeah.
Thank God, because that was a pain point for me, sending money to Matt or sending money to you. It's like I always get, but yeah.
That's weird. It puts him out every time he types.
Yeah. It puts him out. Stay safe and hydrate. We will stay safe and hydrate. I'm drinking my bottle of urine. It's fresh. It's cold. It's actually carbonated. No, I'm just kidding.
See, if you're a fire dragon, you got to be careful hydrating, I reckon.
Right. Well, I mean, every time you bring it up to your mouth, it just evaporates because you.
Yeah. Especially alcohol.
It's actually just, this is an American. It's just like sparkling apple soda. It actually just tastes like kind of like carbonated apple juice kind of like thing. But they're pretty good. Yeah, they're good. I buy them at Costco because you get the bottles, 12-pack of different flavors for like, I think it was like $8 or something like that. So pretty good deal. They're not too bad. And then
I have something called Slur, which is similar, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
Good. So, Jimmy, we appreciate. Thank you, sir, for the $5 donation to
Jimmy, you legend.
And so that's kind of where we are with the channel. Again, season 2. Because why not? I mean, what the hell, right?
Why not?
And then and this guest, I think the guest we have on Saturday will be pretty good. And then, of course, we'll have some new guests coming up. And then we'll have some returning guests. We'll have Barry on again and anybody. Again,
of course,
Jermaine, anybody. And here's the thing, and I've always said this with any time we have any guest. I don't care who you are. If you're a fan of the channel, if you're just like to listen, if you're a big tech creator, I'll talk to anybody. I'll talk to all the folks, right? So
yeah, we'd have Jimmy on, we'd have a DT on, we'd have everyone.
Yeah, we still need to get a DT on and that kind of thing. I want to get past the holidays because I know he's probably busy with all that. So
yeah, definitely.
We always have an open forum because we like to talk about stuff that's going on. So we'll have good guests in the new year, in the new season. So it'll be kind of fun. Right? Almost sounds like we're actually professionally having a season.
Yeah. We got Uncle Spurt at some point, haven't we?
Yeah, I did reach out to Chris. He said he's interested, but he is as obviously between the holidays and his workload, he's got a lot of bandwidth squeezing going on. So he said
he's a bit busy with Mr. Wanksock at the moment. So
right, and then, and he's got and then of course he was at this Pixel event. I guess they were live streaming the game, and he texted a bunch of letters, so he looked pretty well pissed. So it was just like 8 letters, and it looked like a word to start, and then just kind of trailed off with just. And then he doesn't look necessarily drunk, but if it's Chris and he's at an event, I'm pretty sure he's about 10. He probably was 5 pints in before he even showed up to the damn thing. So, which is good and a good quality dude. Also, I've also just for heads up, I reached out to Adam Dowd, Benefit of the Dowd podcast, and I'm a huge fan.
That'd be cool.
Of Adam, I'm not a fan of him being a Cubs fan. That I'm not a fan of. And I like to give him a little shit. Oh, look at Jimmy, legend, another
Jimmy.
No, you don't have to, man. Keep all. Yeah, and it's now that it's dead even, so we're good. So there, I guess that's 5 for you and 5 for me. So that's cool. And Jimmy, we appreciate it, sir. Again, as always, that is not required. We really appreciate it, and we love how you guys come up with that. We appreciate the extra couple quid. That's very nice.
Yeah, helps us run the show.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's pretty easy.
Yeah,
that's a lot of fun, and we do have a lot of fun. So, but that's kind of like what we're doing as far as I don't know. You said you had questions for me, so I don't know. What do you want to ask me?
Yeah, I want to know a bit more about your time in the police.
No.
I bet you got some stories, Sam. I bet you have.
Well, it's funny. I try to think about this. Somebody asked me the other day about some of the stories that I have, and I go, I probably have a ton. I just didn't write any of them down. It's funny thing is, if I could go back and access all my police reports and read through them again, then I would start to kind of remember. Oh yeah, because I've forgotten all of them. I haven't been an active police officer since 2013. So it's been a while. It's almost 10 years now. No, I just wanted to do it ever since I was a kid. It was just one of those things that I wanted to do, and tried to actually get on with the St. Louis City Police Department when I was like 24, 25 years old. I got on their waiting list, but they had some kind of a hiring freeze for like almost 2 or 3 years. And then I got a good job at a manufacturing plant where I was working at Dial, and I was making way better money than I would have as a police officer, and obviously a lot safer. And then my wife at the time, my ex-wife, was like, "Hey, I just don't think you should do that because you're going to take a pay cut now." And and we'd have to move into the city because at that time, St. Louis City had a requirement that you had to live within those city limits of the city.
Okay.
So again, and she just, we had a little, Anna was around, we were thinking about having a daughter. I didn't want to be a cop and have to live in the city, and then schooling was a problem. So it just, it just didn't work out. So I kind of gave up on it and didn't think about it for a lot. And then finally, after working in there, I still want to do it. The itch was still there. And so I went to, I paid for, it's like a college academy, essentially. They had their own
police academy
that you paid for, almost like a college class. It was actually at the local community college, and to get you your post certification. And then right before I graduated, I was working as a reserve. So basically I was a volunteer, essentially.
We have PCSOs, which are similar. Yeah. And
they also fire. So I basically just reserved for like 2 years. And then when I graduate, 2003, 2002. Yeah. And then was working at the manufacturing, working at Dial. And then 3 or 4 days a month, I would go in and it wasn't like, I wasn't just riding along. I mean, I was actually stopping cars, writing reports, locking people up. I was doing police work. I just wasn't getting paid for it.
What an experience, though. What an experience.
Oh, yeah, it was incredible. I mean, it was nuts. I just remember the first couple of days. Actually, the first night I was on duty was had like a local festival, like a carnival kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
And got into like 2 or 3 fights that night just because they're pretty rowdy. And I was thinking to myself, I said, this is the greatest job ever. Like, it was great, man. It was insane. It was, police work's like 95% total boredom and 5% sheer terror. It's just, I was
going to say, you must have had some scary moments. What was your scariest moment as a police officer?
Can you recall? Scariest moment, clearing a building with a guy that had killing a guy at a gun. We were clearing a warehouse, essentially. Looking for this guy in this warehouse. He basically he had a fight with his girlfriend, grabbed a pistol, ran about 4 blocks over, broke the door to this essentially it looked like a pallet warehouse, like wood pallets. And looking for this guy in there, knowing where, that was pretty scary. I mean, the funny thing is my heart was beating so hard, I could hear it outside of I could hear it.
Yeah.
It was weird. And then of course, luckily the guy, basically just gave up. We saw him around the corner. We had weapons out, put your gun down, and he put a gun down. But I was fully anticipating he was going to come out and just unloaded a clip at unloaded an entire magazine at us. Just and luckily it didn't happen. Oh, dude, it was off. It was completely off. And then what you get is tunnel vision, which you have to kind of fight through. So when you're looking around, that was already dark, so it doesn't help. But when you're focusing on a threat, you have a tendency to kind of you just see like this, like you don't see. And the problem is,
whereas you need to be seeing everything, don't you?
You got to constantly be paying attention. So there's a lot of, and I tell people, and this is the funny thing about when I listen to people talk about law enforcement and they shoot the gun out of his hand and all this other stuff that I hear people talk about. those are clearly talking from people who've never been in a kind of combat situation, like having a weapon, looking for a guy, thinking you're going to get shot. It's not Call of Duty.
Okay? Yeah, it's not.
When you're playing Call of Duty, you're not going to get killed. You're not
you don't get revived.
Right. You're going to get either come back, you got to respawn or whatever. Okay. And so this is a different situation. But all those little things, your adrenaline's running, you get tunnel vision, all these little things. And then when he came out around the corner, like time slows down. There's
I can imagine.
Time violation. It's weird how it happens. And like I said, until you see it and you're doing that, it's kind of hard to explain. But that's why you hear military people and other law enforcement people. Those are never the people talking about silliness, like, oh, you could just shoot him in the leg and shoot him to wound. It's like, are you insane? It's like, do you realize? First of all, take a gun and try to shoot a target, period. And then a dynamically moving target, once moving, you don't know where
people watch too many movies, don't they? They don't realize the kickback and everything.
Well, it's just all the things that are going on. And then you've got the surroundings, and you've got noise control, right? You don't want to be making noise if you're trying to, and then you got to be aware of other threats, right? You might see this one guy and not see, and then you also have, if I were to shoot this guy, I have to be paying attention to who's behind him, right? Because if I miss him and it goes through a wall, or it goes past this guy and it hits a little girl on a bicycle, dirt bags don't have to worry about controlling their fire, right? They can just shoot.
You've got eyes on you, especially.
Because, or if you're in a pursuit when you're driving after somebody, you got to be, they can drive up and down the road, they can drive on the right side of the road, they can drive up a hill, they can drive in the grass, they can go oncoming traffic. You can't do any of that kind of stuff, right?
That was my next question, Sam. Did you ever have a real hot pursuit?
Yeah, we had a bunch of them. We chased a guy all the way up to St. Louis City.
I was gonna say, what was your longest one?
It was about, from Peebly to St. Louis City, it was about 35 miles. And we were just going right up 55 rapid interstate. So we're like grabbing like Jefferson County, and then the Highway Patrol, and then St. Louis County Police, and then St. Louis City. I mean, we're just.
Was you driving or?
Oh yeah, I was driving. Yeah, I was by myself.
Nice.
Yeah, it was me and another guy. We had two cars, and we just said, "Fuck it, we're going." So we basically got off in the city, dumped the car, got out into the pursuit, and St. Louis City caught him. And
that's awesome, man.
Back then, it was if they gave a little talking to. Let's just put it that way. But
Jimmy's giving us another $5.
Yeah, we just got the 2, right? Or you got Jesus?
No,
he's doing this.
Jimmy, is your keyboard that broken?
Right,
you're doing it by accident now.
I would say go ahead and step away from your keyboard. You might want to turn your computer off, because I think your keyboard is possessed and is donating $5 to the cause. Man, I really appreciate it. He's got to type this separately.
He's spitting pure fire. Jimmy, we love you, mate.
So, but yeah, I do miss the work. To be fair. I really do. And actually, I left the year before the Michael Brown incident happened. And I'm sure everybody knows what that is, even if you're not American. You know what that is. So law enforcement has changed a lot, but I still miss the work. I miss you don't have coworkers when you're doing that job. I mean, that's like family. I mean, and it's
you've got to be, haven't you? Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not just a job. It's like it changes your life, and also the unintended consequence of that is it changes your family's life. Then you have spouses that worry about you going home, coming out. You're working off shifts, weird hours, lots of holiday. I mean, I missed a ton of stuff in Anna, holidays and stuff when I was a kid. When she was a kid, because I had to work. I mean, I was working midnights, but she was used to it. Dad sleeping. Law enforcement is very, very tough on not only the police officer but the families of law enforcement. And now it's even harder just because of the environment we live in now. And I always tell people, if you think it's so easy, do it.
Yeah. That's a hard job, definitely.
It's a hard job. I mean, so is fire service, so is EMT, paramedics. They have a lot of, fire brigade. They got a lot. I mean, those people, they have to run to the danger, to the stuff. And honestly, being a firefighter is scary as shit. Fully involved building on fire. Nope. I'm not going
to forget that.
Ooh, hell no.
I think some of the working at heights they do sometimes. Or
so yeah, it was an interesting 10 years, and lots of stories. Lots of stories that I don't want to talk about, not because they're upsetting. There are a bunch of those, but just here's the thing now is being a cop is such a trigger for people now. You can't even have a conversation about it, which is a shame. I mean, we already caught shit before because nobody liked police officers back then, but now it's really worse. And that's not to excuse the conduct of police officers, because there are some really shitty human beings that wear a gun and a badge and shouldn't.
Yeah,
I'm the first.
But there's also some top people.
I will tell you, most of the people that I worked with and came in contact with in other departments and other places were really, honestly, top tier people They were trying to do right by their community. They were trying to do right by themselves and their other units, and then the people they served. They really were doing service work. They really were doing a hard job with not a lot of resources.
What people got to remember, these guys have to make split-second decisions.
They're life
And that's
altering for
hard.
not only the people, but for them.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's not an easy job. It's new as the military. Anything where you're doing service work like that is hard. And so anybody who still does it, I don't know how they do it. Luckily, it seems like the pay is starting to catch up as far as compensation wise. But no, I mean, I look back on it, and I look back on it fondly, and I never in the 10 years that I did that job, I never did anything now thinking about it that I would not be willing to talk about as far as like something illegal or criminal. I never took money. I never bribed, and none of that shit. I played everything pretty straight up. I think cops a lot of these officers that get in trouble are stupid. I just don't think they pay attention. They're not being thoughtful about how to work around what they're dealing with. Like that, there's a Tampa chief. Her and her husband were on a golf cart. She's the passenger. They're on a golf cart, not supposed to be, right? It's because there's rules about driving a golf cart. It's a motorized vehicle, so they get pulled over by some sheriff's deputy in the county they live in. And she asked if they were recording, and the guy said, "Yeah, of course," because they got body cameras, and she knows that she's a chief of Tampa police.
She knows, yeah.
She knows, of course. She even told her, "Yeah, I'm recording it." And she goes, "Well," and then she throws her badge out and says, "You know who I am?" He's like, "Yeah, I know who you are." And he's like, "Well, I'm just going to give you a warning anyway." It's just like, don't. Now she's in trouble, and of course she is, because she's a fucking moron. Don't do that. So what you should do is don't tell her who you are. If they recognize you, probably the chief of Tampa, you probably recognize her. But even if you don't, just say nothing. If you don't have a weapon on you, don't identify as yourself a police officer. Worst case, he's going to write you a citation for driving a golf cart, right?
Yeah.
Write to your husband, not you. He's driving. You're a passenger. He was obviously doing a sobriety check, right? He was making sure you weren't drunk in the golf cart. They clearly weren't. Right? He's going to write your husband a citation. Let him. Don't say shit. And then the next morning, get up. You're the police chief of Tampa, right? Call the sheriff of that county and say, "Hey, man, your deputy popped my husband, da-da-da-da-da. Is there any way you can make this go away?" And they'll probably fucking nollie the ticket or whatever. Don't sit there on a camera looking like an asshole doing that shit. There's just stupid ways.
Things like that give other police officers a bad name, and it's stupid things like that.
And you're the top law enforcement officer of the city, and you're doing shit like that, and it just looks bad. Cops do that. Professional courtesy. I think I only wrote a cop once.
Yeah.
I didn't stop many though. I mean, I stopped them for speeding and that kind of thing. But here's the thing: I was giving citizens a break. Why would I give police officers a break? And I wrote. Apparently, I wrote, and I didn't know this at the time, but I wrote because the daughter didn't say anything. Her dad was a captain in St. Louis County. I had no idea. She didn't say anything to me. She was a nice kid, but she was speeding. It's like 15, 20 over. I wrote her a ticket. Nothing. I got back to the station. I got a phone call from him. He's like, "Hey, my name is Captain blah, blah, blah from St. Louis County." And I said, "I heard you pop my daughter for speeding." I said, "Yeah." "Oh, that was her. She didn't say anything." He goes, "I just got one question. Was she shitty to you on the stop? Like, did she throw her name out? Did she name drop? Was she an asshole to you? Did she give you attitude? Was she disrespectful?" I said, "No. Actually, matter of fact, I didn't know who she was, and she didn't tell me who you were."
Sounds like she was a good kid.
Yeah, well, of course, her dad's smart. He told her, don't go driving around and saying, "My dad's Captain so-and-so from St. Louis County." It's a
don't give people shit as well.
Yeah, and just whatever, And so there's a lot, and I just see the way cops do things and the way they're handling these incidents. I'm like, "Well, you're fucking stupid." I'm like, there's so many different ways to look at that. It's just terrible. So again, I miss the work, but what comes with it, I don't miss a lot of that, and also the pay. I make way more now than I ever did, and I don't have to do anything. And plus, also Becky, and my daughters and my family feel a lot better that I'm no longer in that line of work.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's stressful for the family, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to think about that too. You don't live in a bubble, right? You have to take that into consideration. So, great time in my life. Again, I like to read the reports so I can remember all the funny stuff. And I remember some stories about, fighting people and kicking doors out and, the guy kicked the window out of our patrol car and all sorts of, running after people and some of the goofy stuff they said. And it was pretty wild. I mean, some of the stuff was just like, holy cow. When you think about that, you do that job. I think about when I used to get kind of down about my life, about not having a lot and kind of down about my own stuff. Then you see some of these people who really are like in bad situations.
Put it in perspective.
Right. And it's just, it is thinking, man, I could be in this person's position, and I'll take my position any day. It's very humbling job, because again, you see most people you see at their worst. And there's things that I had to do that I will never forget, like having to give death notifications on car crashes. I still never got over that. Having to tell parents that their kid's not coming home, because they're killed in a car accident, especially due to an impaired or intoxicated driver. I swear, those are the kinds of things that you surrender your soul. Like you cannot do that and be not jaded about humanity.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, mental strength you have to do that.
I mean, yeah, I remember telling this lady, I had to tell her that her 17-year-old daughter was killed in a car accident. And just looking, first of all, they know something's up, but then when you have to give that kind of news to somebody who their daughter went out to go to a dance, they thought worst case, maybe she'd come home and get injured. Maybe she was involved in a fight. Maybe she was at a party, got drunk, and got arrested or whatever. But having to look them in the face and tell them that their daughter is dead. Yeah, that's hard. You can't even imagine having to give that news, and then their reaction. It's terrible. You lose some of your humanity doing it just because it's hard to do. So there are things that I really liked about the job, and things I really didn't like about it, and things I'll never forget doing. That's kind of in the hard drive permanently as an experience. It's tough, but yeah, it's okay.
But yeah, it's amazing though. It's amazing. That's what probably made you the man you are today. Like,
oh no, that's a lot of my mother being a workaholic and an alcoholic, and just my experience growing up. I still think people are wired a little different. Like everybody, other people in my situation growing up might have not done as well. Some people have done better with better situation. It's just weird. Humanity is weird. Growing up is weird. So no, I think it definitely helped shape my later adult years, like the person I am now, about how I conduct myself and how I'm more focused on writing things down and documenting things and being thorough, and also, paying attention to surroundings, like, being safe. A lot of times safety is about avoidance. Right.
But being humble as well. Being humble. Like you say, you saw a lot.
Yeah, but I was just another guy. I mean, just because I had a weapon and just had a gun and a badge, and it didn't make me better than some of these people. Some of these people I was better than. I mean, there's some people are just not very good human beings. I mean, some of the people I've had contact with are really, they should have had their humanity card revoked years ago. I mean, they are not people that should be walking around in society. There are some really bad human beings. But it didn't make me better than people. It's just, I had a job to do. And people were pissed off. Like, I didn't write the law. If you don't like it, call your congressman. You voted these people in.
Yeah,
I'm just enforcing what they do. Some of the laws I thought were kind of silly too. Like,
that's like when you're at work. There's always things at work you think, well, why do I have to do this?
I really like this, but you got to go with it. Like prostitution, never understood that at all. It's like, I could do it for free, but if I sell it, it's illegal. I don't understand that. I don't understand how something can be illegal if you sell it. That's the only thing in the world that I've ever think that you can get in trouble. Like, if you just want to go out on a date and have a relationship with somebody, it's totally chill. But if I, give you $100 and all of a sudden now it's a criminal activity, I don't know. It just that one never made sense to me. Luckily I didn't deal with that a lot. But it's.
So I mean, that was your line of work you wanted to get into, but it was illegal, so you couldn't.
Right. I mean, so it's like,
Sam Bigelow.
Plus, it also, if you're married, it causes some complications.
Yep. Yeah, that would.
I'm looking for a career change. I don't think Becky would have been 100% supportive of that kind of a career change. I mean, the money's good, but I'm assuming the money would be good. Like, who's going to pay for? I mean, it doesn't work both ways. Like, we can't have an OnlyFans. Other people, women can't have an OnlyFans.
Only Sam's.
Only Sam's. Oh God.
You get your what's it called? Get your gun back out.
Yeah.
You got a bit of a niche.
Yeah, I mean, well,
get your handcuffs back out, Sam.
Women like uniforms. Really, it's not so much necessarily that. So.
Yep.
Yeah, PIs. That'd be kind of cool. Never interested in me. I did a lot of investigative work and backgrounds and stuff like that. I did was a crash reconstructionist, so I did a lot of that kind of stuff. That was pretty cool. Reconstructing accidents. Yeah, that was pretty cool. They probably got a cream for that, Dan. If you've got an itch, probably topical cream, maybe a pill.
Dan the man.
Cold compress, possibly, if you've got that kind of an itch. I don't know. Only
He's
cams.
got a Fold 4 at the moment, so
Yes, he does, and he seems
yeah.
like he's. I haven't had many people who have not enjoyed that experience. It may not be the form factor for them; they may not like it, but I've never had anybody say this is total trash. I don't like it. Everybody I've heard from have really been very, very positive about the Fold 4.
Yeah,
and that's why I think that's why Pixel. Honestly, I think part of the reason why I decided to get into the foldable was because of the success of Samsung and these other foldables. I think it has a market. I mean, I think now will it have a market in 10 years? Who knows? We don't know what the next technology is going to be. But I think for right now, I think people can see a reason why they would own a foldable, and I think it has merit.
It's literally the only thing stopping me, Sam, at the moment. Well, there's two things. The main thing is price.
Yeah.
And the second thing is durability. But I can see past that because I probably wouldn't have it long enough to worry. But the main thing is price.
Right. How many people are in this chat or listening to this podcast have kept their phone for 3 years?
Yeah.
I mean, no, we just don't. And it's because there's always the new, like, I mean, you had a Pixel 6, right? A 6 Pro.
Yep.
You got a 7 Pro. There really was no reason to do it. I mean, there is an improvement there, but.
No, it's certainly more refined, but
but not.
You can't go wrong with a 6 Pro.
And so most of the time and that's why I'm not worried about.
I don't know, Sam. I would argue that actually, because it's that much more refined, it is worth it.
Okay.
Because things like the heat, I didn't think it would be a massive difference, but I actually think it is.
When it comes to the foldable durability, I don't think you're going to get many opens and closes. Like you're not going to get to the 250,000 opens and closes past its lifespan, right? You might have one that breaks, right? You might have one that fails. You might drop it and can compromise the screen, and then it breaks later. But I just don't think. And if you do, then you should. Here's the thing: if you're getting a foldable of any kind, just because of the screen technology, just because of it, you should have some kind of insurance plan or aftercare or something. Have something that way you can, a warranty on the device if you have Samsung or whatever. Or I know a lot of the carriers in the United States have separate insurance you can pay in case of a screen failure. I mean, that's what I had for my Duo. I mean, I had Geek Squad. They just didn't have a Duo in stock, so they gave me the MSRP back plus the trade-in plus the money for the Geek Squad. I got like $1,700 back.
Oh, really?
On my Duo. Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't. I got a gift card, so it was at Best Buy. And so I couldn't, I had to buy stuff, and I did. I want to buy stuff for the family and bought a new computer and that kind of thing. So, and then you got people like Dan who don't think it is. So, and that's the beauty.
Yeah.
And are cool. Joe thinks it's worth it.
But I used the 6 Pro for a long period, and now I'm using the 7 Pro for a long period of time as my main phone, and I can notice the differences. Whereas if you're just reviewing it quickly, you might not see it.
Oh yeah. And Shark's in the channel. He's a little late.
Hey, Sharkfin.
Maybe late, but not always great. He's always great. So even if you show up late, that's okay, mate. We appreciate it. We realize you got other things. We're kind of wrapping up the.
Hey, Jimmy's keyboard's working now. We're going.
Hey, now we're going. He's finally got a keyboard. There you go. So that's basically it. So there you go. In case anybody in the chat wanted to know what before I became this fantastic podcaster and YouTube sensation.
Extraordinaire.
Exactly. That's what I did. So, and we'll have little nuggets like that throughout the year. We'll also do the same thing with Joe. We'll talk to Joe about, maybe his time in secondary school or, he obviously didn't want to be that damn handsome and this successful. There's clearly some backstory and how he got to this point. So not those stories, right? How did you get to be Pub Joe? Like, really, where did Pub Joe come from other than the fact he just downed a bunch of pints but didn't eat anything all day? It's clearly that story to get to the point, and talking about, all the kind of things. We'll have like we should have an AMA. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think
we should do that. And so what we'll do is maybe in the new season we'll do some of those. We'll have a show segment. We'll do AMA. We
also open.
Here's the thing. We have to put some qualifying. We have to put some rails here because we have a detail. Okay.
Yes.
So, it will be Ask Me Anything, but Aditya. This is not exactly a G-rated show, but we have other people that we have to kind of keep in mind of, right? So we don't want to put all our dirty laundry in the street. So remember, you can ask all the questions, but we have the right to basically tell you that we're not going there because it's awkward or weird or a little awkward or weird. I don't have any other good explanation. We know what we're talking about. It's a detail. He has a tendency to get a little intense. So we're just loving the
All I'm going to say is peanut butter jelly, and that says it all.
Yeah. 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 The invisible lines have been drawn. I'm just saying we will have an Ask Me Anything and we'll talk about whatever, but that's cool. So, so since this is going to be the last essentially show before, the first of the year, well, we have the 17th. Right. But the one was just me and you. So, you know, we have a lot of time to talk. So hopefully, folks, we'll be back on next Saturday. So remember, Saturday the 17th, 3 p.m. Not Sunday.
We'll confirm it Wednesday or Thursday. We'll confirm it.
And Joe will put out a tweet saying that we're on. So just so everybody knows, if you can make it, awesome. If you can't, that's cool too. I realize that's a day that, isn't our typical day to host the show. But this guest needs some consideration. So we're going to do that because that's what we do here.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. So next Saturday, we'll confirm it on Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday or Thursday. And then as soon as I do, I'll let Joe know and he'll put out the communication to the Twitter. And then we'll all be there. And if we are, great. And if we're not, then we'll still probably do the show Saturday anyway. We just be Sans guest. And that will be the final show of the year. And then that's it. So we'll have a chance to finish out the season, all that kind of stuff. And if it's just me and Joe, on that 17th, the guest isn't able to show up. Maybe we'll do some AMA. And we'll kind of have like a year-end kind of.
We'll do shots.
We'll do shots.
We'll get merry.
We'll get hecka merry.
Hecka merry.
That's it.
Who doesn't want to see that?
Hell, just for the sheer fact of the train wreck that would be ensuing. Hell,
yeah. Yep. Let's hope the guest's there, please.
Oh yeah. For us, please save us from ourselves and let us have a guest on who's and I guarantee you you will enjoy the chat. We have a good one lineup for what we're going to talk about, and he'll be fantastic. So and that's all I'm going to say. So a little bit of a plot twist, a little bit of a teaser. I don't want to tell everybody everything, but we are definitely talking to other people and trying to get some other guests lined up for the new year. And also, if people have suggestions of people who we'd want to talk to, if they're friends of yours, maybe. If you know them personally and you can grease the wheels and they don't know who the hell I am, but you can suggest somebody, hey, send them on our way. We'd love to have them on the show.
Absolutely.
So we'll take suggestions, and if you could help throw Sam and Joe a bone and help kind of say, hey, these are pretty solid chaps, and they'll take care of you. They won't hamstring you. They'll actually have a pretty fun show. That's up to you.
I think most of our guests have enjoyed it.
Barrels ourselves and want to go out and start talking to folks, so it's all good. There's a lot of people in the space.
Most of our guests have enjoyed it, I think.
I'm the feedback I've received has been pretty positive, actually. And I don't think people are saying that just to be gracious or just being that's what you say because you're just saying that. I think like as Shane especially was like he really thought that he goes, I really like this show. It's a lot of fun. It gets for tech creators, it gets them kind of out of the space of just talking about TV and talking about phones and talking about tech and laptops and having the arguments about stuff. It gives them a little bit of a respite from having to just have that constant conversation. Greggles TV, absolutely. I agree. I like Greggles TV. He's a solid dude. I like his content. I follow him. I actually watch his stuff. Don't agree with what every take he has, but I don't agree with any take most people have. Some people say things I'm just like, oh, okay. Well,
you can't agree with everything, can you?
I disagree. It's just like, oh, I didn't think about it that way, or I don't see the point, or it's a little bit of a stretch. But yeah, if you've got suggestions, we'll reach out to him. But yeah, Greggles is good. Ryan Thomas, that one, I don't know.
Ryan Thomas, yeah, he's good.
Okay. Oh, I'm sure Jimmy's suggesting him, clearly.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, so like I said, suggestions and that kind of thing. But yeah, Greggles TV is a good one, and then we have some others we can reach out to. So it's doing good. Well, anyway, I think that's going to do it for today. We're over time.
I just got to show off my jumper.
Your jumper, Deadpool. Very nice. I like it.
Primani.
I still like it being called the jumper.
I know. I did it on purpose. I can keep saying it. Jumper.
Technic. Yeah. So, yeah.
Technic's great. Yeah, I like him.
Yeah. Get Jermaine on again. Yeah, definitely Jermaine. All the guests for the next season, we're definitely going to have redos and have them come in and that kind of thing. And I like the jumper. God, a jumper. I just don't like the name.
Yes, Dan. He said jumper.
Well, of course he is because he's British. Of course he's going to say jumper. Deadpool. I like it. So that's our show. Thanks for stopping by and spending an hour plus with us while we ramble on about all of our silliness. And we love everybody in the chat. Jimmy for the super chats. That's really appreciated. Again, not necessary at all, folks, but definitely
much appreciated. Yeah.
And that'll be it. And so, yeah, looks like Jimmy's got a whole bunch of people. So we might just ask for Jimmy to start like giving us Josh Chang, Tech Tablets, Technic, Ryan Thomas, Greggles. Yeah. So, well, no, it's okay, Dan. Don't worry about it. We were always late. We were actually late too. So it's okay.
Yep, we're always late.
Everything, sure.
Do you know what?
I think we're punching way above our weight class there. I'd like to have Mr. Mobile. Yeah, those are nice to haves. Actually, I'd like to have Daniel Rubino from Windows Central. That would be my. I'd love to actually talk to him at some point. So we'll see. Maybe at some point we can reach out and maybe we can get some of these people on the show.
Yeah, why not,
Mr. Mobile? I mean,
that'd be awesome.
Wouldn't you want to have him on the show? It's crazy. You'd be insane not to. So
yeah,
maybe someday. Maybe in season 3. Who knows?
Season 5.
Maybe. Yeah. So for myself and for Joe, thanks for showing up. Thanks for listening. Download the podcast offline. Make sure you go to the Purposely Pixel YouTube channel. Check out their content. Show us some love. Throw some likes on the video. Even if you don't like it, just like it anyway, because that's what people do.
Just like it, man.
You can dislike it, and we would never know who does because they don't have the number anymore.
So we don't care.
Alter? Yeah, absolutely. Got a list. So have a good rest of your week.
Yeah, Josh Vergara will be good.
Hopefully get everybody done a nice time with their lives. Make sure you have a good work week. Stay safe. Stay hydrated. Get a good mental frame of mind. I know this is getting into the holiday season, so family and those things are going on. So absolutely try to see if we can maintain a good emotional and positive flow. And we'll be back next Saturday, either with a guest or with just us. But it'll be Saturday.
With shot glasses.
Absolutely. With shot glasses, because we might have to drink.
Yep. Because we're classy.
And attractive.
Yep.
Neither one of those things. Anyway, that's the show for Sam and Joe. Thanks for tuning in. See you next Saturday, 17th, 3 p.m. Same bat time, same bat channel. Have a good day. Take care of yourselves.
We love you, beautiful people. Enjoy your tech.
See y'all.
Goodbye.